In the first,
it's
not
taste
honey,
like
bro.
honey.
No,
it's gotta taste like honey.
That's like going to the gas station and saying, bro, what does that taste like? You don't drink the Boost.
But if you did,
we gotta have we need to talk about this off stream. We're underway. Banana Head gonna start with a reset. How about the splash?
I take it all back. KCP certainly have the mechanics, the speed. It's all there. One flip reset, and I'm convinced 1-0. That's how you start a series.
I told you, how could you say they couldn't keep up with pace of play with Banana Heads on the team, Turtle?
How many times
did you forget?
It's not keeping up with the pace. It's about outpacing them. And right there, he did outpace them, out-mechanic them, the club, speechless. But right away, they try to get some kind of answer for it, a bump, and immediately Astromic's able to get the tying goal.
Pioneers were really trying to figure out how this one was developing. Scrub dives for the 50, Lost made him look silly. Super Lucky got Goomba stomped by Bems, and then no one else was able to rotate back for Pioneers. They needed Super Lucky to get a touch there, but he got pushed off the play.
And if you've watched any of the games from the club in South America, they are more than willing to throw every single player in the box if they know the opportunity is there. And another 50-50 Lost. Look at this challenge, the approach on it. He had him read every single step of the way.
Oh, you talk about staking your claim. Lost did so at the World Championship. He put everyone followed him on Twitter after that World Championship. He was absolutely insane, and people are expecting big things out of him. I'm expecting big things out of Lost as well. That one, routine off the kickoff for him. He gets the second goal from the club.
Oh, and a flip reset now. Under one, 50-50s challenge game. So favorable for the club. That's what's created at least that last goal. For the Pioneers, how do they transition? This is what you expect against the club. Crazy mechanics, good speed, unpredictability, taking your boost, using a lot of boost. What is the answer that Pioneers have in store? We'll have to wait and find out, because so far it has been all offense for the club.
There's a simple double commit here for Pioneers. Banana Head on the back wall. I think Super
Look at the speed. Look at the speed.
He was so fast, but Scrub was picking up for lost time because he's positioned not for a double commit.
I'm sure he was, Dorby.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm talking about with the speed. It's so hard to match the club. If you fall into that trap of trying to challenge every single opportunity you get, it's not going to go your way. You have to know when to bait them out, go for 50-50s, maybe go for a fake challenge that's a necessity against the club. Nice opportunity from Super Lucky, though, off the back wall. And first bit of possession for the Pioneers in quite some time since that first wowsy of a goal.
Midfield line, all Banana Head. Almost just gave up that touch. Astromic's going to get downfield. Scrub trying to shake him off the play. Instead, he got shook off the field. The challenge is really not working out for Pioneers right now. They're trying to stay close on the nose. See Scrub reads the touch well against Lost. Now the 50s are working out. That was a good push by Scrub. Get the ball back to Banana Head, going for another reset, but Astromic was ready off the ceiling.
Nice touch from Scrub in the corner. Almost set himself up, but made the follow-up even better from Banana Head. Now Bems looking for that transition. Good flick. Even more challenges and pressure to the top of the box.
I was curious how Bems would look in his first international series ever.
He looks great.
And I don't think he's been asked to do too much just yet in the first 2 minutes, but he's fitting into the rotation well. Looks just as he has all split long. Scrub trying to carry it out. Lost has really been the biggest factor for the club. He's gotten in front of every 50. Ben's gonna take a quick shot. Well placed. Club are running over the Pioneers.
Just look at the positioning of Bems. This is what's expected from him. To be that anchor, not the best touch from Banana Head, but Bems knows where he's trying to go with this ball, has him read, is in that position, in the midfield, cutting off the back pass, and a solid strike, 4-1, the club dominant. Even after that first smack in the face with a flip reset from Banana Head, you still come out strong.
Bems, nice move on the follow-up 50. Scrub, he tried to get up fast enough. Banana Head will come in the rotation, but just not getting to the 50. Astromic goes back and forth. KCP, it's really just wait and see what club do with the ball right now. They do get a free read, but what does Banana Head do with it?
It's just got to be more grounded. I mean, Banana Head in that situation,
the
last thing you want to do is throw this ball in the air. Like you said, the club, they're rarely out of boost. Bems doesn't have too much, though, as we mentioned it. Lost, forced to get a save, but nothing too panicked. Nice interception from Lost to get in front of that player that was Super Lucky, who could have had a better look on net, and We're down the other end. Booming clears back and forth. Time wasted. Pioneers need to score now if they want to get back in this game.
Since that breakout kickoff flip reset goal from Banana Head, they've had 0 offense. He actually didn't get a shot registered, which doesn't make too much sense. So Pioneers, well, there's Banana Head's first attempted shot coming across. It did come up. KCP have had 3 shots. I read the scoreboard wrong on my end. But those 3 shots, they have not come in bunches. They just haven't been able to generate any pressure. Stromik just has so much space to do what he wants with the ball. And, I mean, what do you do there if you're KCP? Stromik, he's got full field. Lost can do what he wants with the ball here.
Yeah.
Or not with the ball, but just bumping Super Locky off the play.
I mean, whenever you get a team that's this mechanical, there's a lot of lanes of opportunity, a lot of different outlets that you can go for, several decisions to be made. Sometimes that can be paralyzing if you're a player, but the club know exactly how they want to play, know which route they prefer to take. Most of the time, it's going to be solo plays. We just saw one here. A big counterattack, though, for the Pioneers. 59 on the clock. Nothing too crazy, but definitely one that could give you a little bit of confidence knowing that there are gaps in the defense with the counterattack.
Where did Bems go? Because Bems was rotating back, and he was on the line for the clear, but then all of a sudden he's behind Stromik. I think there was a bit of a miscom there. Not that it matters too much. I mean, you're up 5-1, so your rotation back isn't going to be too panicked. Lost immediately gets a shot. Stromik not going to cut off Super Locky. Well, what do you make of the Pioneers right now? Because you're probably thinking about game 2 at this point.
This is sadly what I fear for the Pioneers up against the club. Like, I just don't think that they have enough chaos to match the club. Like that. Like, I genuinely, when I talk about speed, when I talk about taking boost, you don't try and match the club in any of those categories. You have to fight them with an opposite play style. You don't want to say, okay, you're going to go for some speedy approaches. You want to try and challenge every single shot, take all the boosts. We're gonna go up for those. No, you keep the ball low, you keep it grounded. You go for slower plays and throw off the club. Make them hit the brakes themselves. Try and stop their rotations, and then surprise them with some explosive gameplay. That, to me, is the only opportunity. And heading into game number 2, as the club will take game 1, it's all now relying on what the Pioneers choose to do moving forward.
I think that, I mean, you're absolutely right. Like, the club, they're going to challenge everything. There's one thing you can rely on with the club, is that, are you behind the ball? Great. Stromik is barreling down on you at supersonic speed.
Yeah.
So, but to me, again, Lost picking up the MVP, but it wasn't what he did on the scoreboard that impressed me. It was all the things that don't show up on the scoreboard. It's the, well, I can see the demos. You can't see the demos on the in-game scoreboard, but Lost got 2 crucial demos that took away possession from the Pioneers when they could have gotten set up in the midfield. And then it was the challenges. His control, it was just too much for the Pioneers to deal with. And Lost is a problem right now. He is a problem.
Oh, he's a problem.
At KCP have to do something about it.
And one thing to mention about my point previously, where I was explaining how you can't really match them in a lot of these categories, you have to try and bait them in. The one category that I was actually wrong about is the boost. That's the one category where you can consciously try and take more of it as you're rotating out. Demos, speed, winning certain 50-50s. Sometimes, and most of the time, you can't match a team if they're simply just better than you, which is what it feels like in this category. But you can take more boost. And in that way, you can try and counter, because if they're getting demos on you when they're rotating back, if they don't have any boost, they can't even do that.
How do you take the boost if you're not winning the 50s? Like, if you can't win those 50s and actually protect the corners.
Right.
Because that's, I mean, that's what the club were doing. They were stealing so many corners, and you can use all the boost you want if you keep winning.
Then you break out the textbook of rotations and extending it forward and trying to take the midfield boost, but that's even more risky because you're leaving a player alone for longer on the defensive side. A lot of decisions, a lot of ways that Pioneers can approach them. We're just idiots up here. Let's let the players try and figure this out.
Lost, kept the touch close, and he got the 50. Look how much space Stromik has. Scrub, he couldn't even commit to the play. Lost immediately pushed him back. Just the demo threat was enough to push Scrub off the ball. And again, excellent job from Stromik catching the ball in the corner, forcing the Pioneers out. Banana Head trying to read against Bems, who again, while he's had a quiet game for the most part, when not much is asked of you, but you're making the necessary touches, sometimes that's all you need.
Necessary touches coming out from the club to transition. Good one from Lost. That's the player you keep bringing up, and He has absolutely made an impact so far. A lot of boost uses for Banana Head, who leaves it instead now for Scrub. Booming clears. When this ball is flying high like it is, I think that's how the club want to play. Bring this ball down. Scrub rushing in to get a touch. I really want to see them stay more grounded and go for more control on offense.
See if they can get some more of it. They do have it in the midfield. Banana Head, I don't think that touch is exactly where he wanted it. He had to stretch, and it made the read easy for Bems on the pass. What?
Ooh, big
Bems?
miss.
And Scrub actually gets a bump as well. Super Locky got chipped off the play by Lost, but he comes back down on the 50. And that kill by Lost absolutely destroyed him. Scrub avoided the bump, but it didn't matter. Lost playing with his food gets the first goal.
Look at the layers on this play. You've got one person, Astromic, pushing forward, making Scrub dodge the demo, then Lost goes for the fake, flips his car completely, and gets what looks like a little bit of a musty flick into the back of the net. That was beautiful from the club. So many layers, so many different approaches. And they strike again here in game 2.
Nice pop and good 50 there from Super Locky. That follow-up, it's Lost again. Completely stuffed the Pioneers rotation. Scrub coming up because he sees his teammate in the corner. He's thinking Banana Head's gonna get a touch there, which is why he's caught so far up, and Lost just wins the touch, a complete whiff from Super Locky.
Yeah, you don't even get one single touch. One touch on that ball would have stalled enough time to allow that third man to get back into position and realize he's overextended. Not even that comes out for the Pioneers. 3-1, it feels like, for the club. Demos have been effective, have shown signs of brilliance from Pioneers. Good touch in the midfield, but nothing, Jordan.
Astromic loves diving, man. He's like, okay, I'll go up the corner, I'll go up the ceiling, and boost down for a weird challenge where you're not expecting
It's improvising. It feels like
he's full improv.
Always improvising. He's always rushing the ball, glued to it. Even here, improvising with a nice little back pass, and he's always adjusting as to what challenge he's going to get. Okay, I might not win this 50-50. Let me see what else I can do with my rotations, and you'll see that a lot with Lost, too, getting demos on his way back.
KCP forced on the back line. Got their structure set up on defense. So trying to manage the boost totals. Scrub uses a lot to get the ball downfield. Super Locky left on 0. Banana Head not a lot either, but the canister's starting to get picked up by Pioneers. They're still trying to race towards this ball. The control isn't quite there, but you can understand why. They're trying to pop it over Astromic, who just won't leave the play, and it bought enough time for Lost to come in and stuff him on the 50.
Scrub. Oh, stuffing in that corner. The ball bounced well for them to commit. It's wide open. Astromic doesn't have to read off the crossbar. Lost has no accuracy, but Bem certainly does.
I think Lost was trying to pull them out of net, and he succeeded on it. He puts this one pretty high.
I guess it worked because they would have saved that.
Yeah,
I
think he saw Scrub on that play. I definitely think Lost intended for that one. Gave Bems an easy shot.
And with how close it was to the corner, you have no choice but to assume it's going to go in or be on target for Pioneers. So 2 players pre-jump. Everybody's flailing, trying to get that last second touch to keep them within 2. But unfortunately, nobody gets to save. A 3-goal lead. Now maybe a 2-goal if that one slipped in. Lost says nope and denies them.
8 goals for Club in the series so far. 5 of them belonging to Lost. Here comes Scrub underneath. A poor reset. Bems gets the save. The pop-up gives KCP a chance.
Wow.
Saves again. It's off the post to commit, but Lost lands perfectly in front of the ball. And just when KCP have a chance, Turtle, they get denied.
And we have just been presented with the value that Bems brings to this team, that defensive hold. What he's able to do, getting those saves, finding the touches, being patient on the backboard, and now Astromic can come forward, do a little bit of magic himself alongside Lost, and this team has shown you what they're great at doing, their positions, what roles they all play, and how they can get work done.
As Scrub cuts in on the net there, and he tries to turn around and find the read, but he's already late and Lost. 2 goals, 2 assists, and a save. Man is doing a lot. Astromic punching in that ball, but it's the Lost show right now for sure. Super Locky, it's underneath on the reset. Pioneers, they need 1, but they're getting none.
And who saved it? Who saved it, Jordan? Just say it.
Bems.
There it is, Bems. Bems has been so effective on defense, and that's got to give confidence to Astromic and Locke.
Well, that was the biggest criticism that people had of the club in the World Championship was their defense and their inability to have that clutch factor. KV1 just didn't seem to be the answer for them, but Bems comes onto the roster, and now he is that defensive stalwart for the club. And 9 goals in the last 2 games for the club. They are absolutely rinsing the Pioneers in the first series of their run.
We did see an adjustment in the 3rd game from Power in the first series we casted today. Maybe we see that from the Pioneers. Haven't seen them change too much about their play style. Maybe they thought game 1 was just something they should forget about coming to game 2. Same approach, but still the same result, nothing against the club.
Bems picking up 4 saves, almost matching Lost, but 2 in-game MVPs for Lost. And he continues to really impress just with, you know, at the World Championship, he really showcased his mechanics. He's still got his mechanics in this game, but Lost, it feels like he's gotten more thoughtful with how he approaches the ball. It's a lot more focused on winning the 50, giving his teammates chances on the ball, but he's still ending up scoring at the end of the day. He's just quality touch after quality touch. The man is making great decisions, and it's giving club, like, what a first game. I really thought this was going to be a close.
You thought it was going to be a banger. I thought it was going to be close.
They're dominating them.
I think that says a lot about the maturity, too, of the club. Maybe if this was their first time coming out here on the international stage, they would have stayed with more of a confident approach and not putting anybody back. Maybe Bems even would have been too confident pushing forward, but they've got the experience. They've played at the world stage, at the World Championship previously. They know how to approach every single team differently. OCE previously was a very difficult and was the kryptonite for a lot of these South American teams, but that is not the case today, Jordan.
At the very start of this series, Banana Head wowed us with a kickoff reset or flip reset goal. And we thought, all right, we're in for one.
I got that. I saw that. I thought it was over.
And then Club said, by the way, it's over.
Don't judge a series by the first goal. We may or may not have done that. But here comes Banana Head. Nice save on the goal line, crashing across. But nothing too much. It's all about the way they move out of their own half. Hopefully game 3 they implement some changes because they've got to. They have no choice. Backs against the wall. This is their first series. Good touches, good follow-up. You're forcing some panic plays from Lost in particular, but Bems, how do you get through that player?
Ostromic in reverse. He's not facing a lot of pressure. Brilliant there to take it away from Super Locky. Banana Head, though, got the reset and the drill, but can't get the 50. Ostromic, 2 defensive touches for him. And Lost, he gets a little pull shot from his friend. He doesn't get the reset, though. He drops down and is taken away. That would have been nuts. Look at Ostromic.
He's so, oh my goodness.
He's like in a jungle gym.
What is he doing?
He's just going off the field.
And that's got to speak to how predictable it is for the Pioneers. The Lost, and more in particular, Ostromic, he knows exactly where the Pioneers are going. He pre-jumps a mile in advance, but there's been some better pressure applied from the Pioneers. You think if they can maybe get a demo, that could be the cherry on top to open up this net.
Oh, Lost. His wave landing into that ball. I think he wanted to pop it. He still gets the go-ahead touch. Nothing developing. Both Ostromic and Bems playing a bit more passively as the ball drops down in front. And Lost kicking it to the far side. You said more neutral. Banana Head gets the touch out to Super Locky. But these 50s have to start turning into passes. They have to start turning into shots for Kansas City Pioneers. They've attacked the backcourt a couple of times, and Ostromic attacks the far side of the net. The club score again.
The club waiting on their chance to strike, and it's off the air dribble attempt from Scrub, who actually ran out of boost, and because of it, couldn't get behind the ball. Third man slightly too behind in rotation, can't find a touch. The shot was all the way on the right side, and the club coming out strong, but maybe a good kickoff for Banana Head. No power behind that shot. It was a good opportunity, a good moment to get back.
You know, not too sure what's how the games have played out on the A stream, but it does feel like a lot of the goals, at least on B stream, that have gone in, first in the Gen G match and in this one, it always seems like a positioning issue with second man where they're expecting a touch, they don't get the touch, and all of a sudden it's in your net. So the layers are really falling apart for this team.
That's classic, though, whenever you come out and you're dominant in your own region, then you hit the international stage, Jorby, and you're used to winning those challenges. That's why it's got to be a habit in these players' mind to expect, to assume that challenge is going to be won. And when it's not, you're out of position. You can't get back in time, and it's a weak point for several teams here.
That's where you have to make that adjustment where the first man isn't winning those challenges, but you still want second man to be aggressive. The third man's got to understand, maybe play a bit more passively, maybe position for that loss so they can cover the back end. Again, the layers problem for KCP as Ben marches down the field, but Pioneers, they've kept the game a lot closer. Just need one goal to tie it up.
Sometimes you get an instance where a team realizes what they're doing and then changes too much, becomes too passive. That kind of happened to Power in Game 2 of the previous series where they were adapting and changing far too much. So far for the Pioneers, I think they've done it just right, at least in Game 3. Better opportunities. Lost looking for demos. That's a player you always have to watch out for. A fly. You're trying to swat away, but just can't get a grip on him.
Lost. Going for a big clear, but Bems is coming the whole way back from KCP's corner. That's just pure confidence. You know you're not going to lose. Astromic gets the goal, but Lost fools the Pioneers defense.
Yep. The illusion thrown at the defense. Lost up high in the air. Scrub is anticipating a touch, and Astromic knows exactly what's happening. That ball's dropping back in front of the net and able to seal it away. 2-0. Security, confidence, and domination for the club.
11 goals to the 3 from Pioneers. It has not been close, and it has not been an easy series for KCP. What a state. I really think this is the kind of statement you needed to make as the club. You come in as the top South American seed. The team that really challenged you at the World Championship was Furia, the other Brazilian team. They're not here now. And so, while this region has historically struggled against OCE, this is a big game for the club. You come in with Bems, it's his very first series, and this is how it goes. He doesn't even have to sweat. It's just a walk around the park for the club. With 18 seconds, it feels like a pure formality, Turtle.
Yeah, I mean, Bems is simply the glue that keeps this team together. He gives space, gives freedom to his two teammates, Lost and Astromic. That has been the story that they wrote in this series, and they're gonna close it out in a sweep. That ball hits the ground, and the club win their first series against the Pioneers.
I need to double check it, but I am pretty sure Lost had 100% goal participation. I think he was involved in all 11 goals. There might be one I was wrong on that one, but he got both assists. This time, Astromic was the one putting the ball in the back of the net and putting those shots on.
Ridiculous.
I don't know what to say about the Pioneers at this point. Like, that was a bad loss.
Yeah.
They have to find a way to recover out of that. But great first win for the club.
Yeah, for the club, absolutely. I think that to me, like I was mentioning, it's just showing signs of maturity as this roster has aged, as it's become more experienced now. Here, competing in front of everybody, and especially if they can. Actually, I do believe that winning the first series will get them a chance to play in front of the crowd, but we'll confirm that later and double check. But the club, this has been a statement for them. While it's against the Pioneers and maybe you favored the club going in, I think the Pioneers could have put up a much more difficult fight. It should not have been a 3-0. I think they could have easily taken a game or two. It just felt like they didn't want to change anything about their play style, too afraid to make any sort of implementation on how they are approaching the ball.
Well, Pioneers, they got a couple more games to figure it out. The nice thing is, Swiss will be a bit of a slow burn, so they'll get a bit of a break. They'll have to play another, but then no matter what, they get a chance to play again tomorrow. Well, we got more matches, more teams that still haven't even played their first match. Coming up next on the B stream, we get James Cheese versus K-Corp. And yeah, I'm sure Virtuoso in particular is real excited for this match.
This one's going to be a doozy of a matchup, Torby.
Absolutely, but we have that match after the break. Don't go anywhere.